We are off and running here in Nashville, week 13. A couple of old friends in the AFC South. Bashal Tootin is going to field it, crosses the 30, and takes on a hard hit as he was brought down right shy of the 35. And looked like Joey Sly, the kicker, was the man who applied that hit. So here comes Trevor Lawrence. Arch, since the Jacoby Myers trade with Brian Thomas's return today, it's the healthiest that the offense has been all year.
Well, you've seen in the last few weeks, and with the addition of Jacoby Myers, that there has been more consistency. There's been a little bit more trust. And yes, the passing game is coming off, their best couple weeks that they've had. Now, they're still looking for that down the field element to the offense, but things have started to look better and stabilized.
Lawrence begins the day with play action. He's going to get it to Travis Etienne as he will pick up 4, maybe 5 to set him up with second down.
Well, the identity of this offense is the physicality behind their run game. You see what they've been able to do in their last 5 games.
Eligible man downfield, offense number 73. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
And they're going against a defense that really, they've struggled to stop the run here in the last 5 games of the season. To me, this is the matchup for Jacksonville to be the offense they want to be. It is led by their rushing attack.
So the penalty charge to Robert Hainsey, their center. One thing to keep in mind, Cole Van Lanen again making a start today at that right guard position with no Patrick McCary available for the Jags. And another big loss up front as Etienne's going to get some of that penalty yardage back, crosses the 35, close to the 36. Of key inactives in this game. We just mentioned McCary, one of their big free agent acquisitions. De'Ami Brown is a healthy scratch, and still no Hunter Long, who was such a big piece of their offense.
And Van Lanen, he's playing his 3rd different position in the last 3 weeks. He has been invaluable. Played pretty well in the last 2 games at right tackle.
Lawrence to the air on 2nd and 9, completes. That's a good early sign. Can they get Brian Thomas going, Arch? He's been in just a pretty gnarly sophomore slump. Picks up 11 here and a big early first down.
Yeah, and what he brings to the to attack outside the numbers and deep. They want to get more big plays, and you've seen the way Liam Cohen has called this offense. They have dialed up some shots, but they just haven't been there. That's really where he excels. And if he can bring that dimension to this offense, it just makes him that much better.
Missed the last 3 games with the ankle injury, but finally deems himself fit. Pitch play here to Etienne. So Thomas, Archer, just think of how good he was last year as a rookie after that.
And I think it is because you had Jacoby Myers who came in. Parker Washington really started to step up and become reliable. It's because of those receivers starting to come on that they allowed Brian Thomas Jr. to rest a little bit and make sure that he's up to full speed.
Lawrence going to work from the gun. They bring a blitzer off the edge. Lawrence, the fake. Lawrence smothered. Kevin Winston got there first, and then Arden Key with the rep. And they get to Lawrence early in this game. 3rd down.
Get that first sack of the game. Really good start for a Tennessee defense that really, off of the edge, needs to get a little bit more production from those edge rushers. Arden Key with the big first sack.
First career sack for Kevin Winston, the rookie. Lawrence steps up after they lost 10. Everyone covered down the field, tucks it away. Going to get to the 50, so they'll be well shy of the first down marker. They needed the Tennessee 44. And so frustrating end to that drive for Liam Cohen's offense after Lawrence picks up 13 and Jacksonville is going to punt.
Well, that's a good start for Denard Wilson's defense. And look, they've had a lot of different things to deal with, a lot of mixing and matching of personnel. He's had to create a defense that has to adjust every single week, and that's a good start.
Chimere Dike, one of the most dangerous punt return men in the sport. Going to play it here. Looked like he ran into his own man. And they're going to force him out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line after a return of about 8. Cam Ward onto the field for the first time. Early state weather, no doubt. Temperatures in the upper 40s as we get our first look at Cam Ward in this Tennessee offense. They begin at their own 20-yard line. Ward's going to work from the gun. The rookie slings it towards the right and makes a short completion, gets it to Van Jefferson as they pick up 3. Arch, so Cam Ward last week, career high in pass yards, third straight game without a turnover in what was probably his best game of the year.
Well, certainly, not probably, it was his best game of the year. And you could see, I mean, we saw him in their only win of the year in that Arizona game where he really made some eye-popping throws, which he's done all season. But as you've seen him here progress in the last half of the season, playing on time, having much better command, and his decisiveness is what stood out.
Here's the ground game. Can they get this run attack that has been non-existent off and running as Tony Pollard goes right into the teeth of that Jacksonville defense? It's a pickup of 15 and a first down for Tennessee.
Well, this is key for Tennessee, is up front, just the ability to sustain blocks. They've played a couple of tough run fronts in the last couple games. That's a good start to the run game.
This is the worst rushing offense in the NFL in terms of yards per game as they complete here over the middle of the field.
Well, they have to be able to protect Cam Ward. You see 45 sacks allowed, the most in the National Football League. And really, when you look at this Jacksonville defense, the one thing that really stands out is how they've been able to get after that quarterback. 9 sacks, 21 quarterback hits, and they come from all different levels in this defense.
6 sacks last week of Jacoby Brissett. Will that carry over into this game? A first down run here and more. So a good start for Tony Pollard, who is well behind his pace from the last couple of years. Picks up 11 here. Remember, 1,000 yards for Pollard each of the last 3 years.
Well, you talked to Mike McCoy about their run game, and he was pretty honest with us that it's been awful in their last 2 games. Now, listen, I know it's the National Football League, but you played against the Houston Texans, one of the best front sevens in football, and the Seattle Seahawks that know how to get after it. Up front, it's been a big battle, but Jacksonville's defense has been great at stopping the run as well.
Mike McCoy, the interim coach. How about this ground attack? Andrew Wingard gets bowled over as Pollard applying a punishing hit, able to get downfield into the second level, and another Tennessee first down. Only team in the sport that has not had an opening drive touchdown. In fact, they go back 14 straight games dating back to last season.
I mean, look, if you can start out running the football, and they're just going right downhill. There's nothing fancy about this run game. They're going right downhill in the heart of that Jacksonville run defense, and that's really helping out this offense get started.
Play action, little end around. It's DK trying to get him into some open space, get him some more touches. We saw how impressive he was last week. At 90-yard punt return, had the late 1-yard touchdown catch as they try to implement him a little bit more in this offense.
Well, Sparrow, last week, you know, you look at Cam Ward and his wide receivers, you know, missing his top wide receivers. Io Manor was out, Ridley is out, Oliver, you know, they're on IR, and so they've had to find different guys. And when you look at these young players on this football team, the rookies making some big contributions. DK with some huge plays in their last couple games.
They do get Io Manor back in this game, back from that hamstring tweak. There's a completion. Beautiful ball. It's Okonkwo. Tackled by Devin Lloyd. And how about this game-opening drive led by the rookie quarterback?
Yeah, looking real nice. And Okonkwo leads the Titans in catches and yards. And again, talking about his wide receiver core, you see that beautiful pocket. Absolutely no pressure whatsoever, and he leads Okonkwo perfectly. Really nice secured catch, taking a shot from Devin Lloyd.
Okonkwo was on the injury report this week with a foot injury, missed practice time, but he's their team leader in both catches and rec yards. Already 2 grabs on this opening drive. Tajay Spears gets his first touch. Going to pick up only a couple. Tackled there by Andrew Wingard. So we mentioned some of the inactives on the other side of the football for both teams. Big missing piece for them. Tennessee, their starting center, no Lloyd Cushenberry. And we heard the report from Aditi Walker out, 2nd straight week, and no Armstead.
Yeah, I don't think we can overstate the massive loss on this defense without having Walker and then without having Eric Armstead, who has really started to play well. This is the #1 rushing defense right now in yards per game in the National Football League. And I think it's because Tennessee has been able to have early success in the run that's given their offense balance on this first drive.
Second down pass. Ward to the end zone. It's caught but they say he was out of bounds. Gunnar Helm just running out of real estate. Andrew Wingard was there. Wingard's been all over the field.
Ryan Thomas Jr. will be back out on this field, and head coach Liam Cohen told us he's hoping that Thomas can bring a level of explosiveness to this offense today. Bad news, Eric Armstead tested out that hand he hurt on the field earlier. Ultimately, he can't go, so that means both he and Trayvon Walker will be missing from a defense that's been ferocious the last 2 weeks. That all, of course, comes against a Titans team that Jeffrey Simmons promised me is not going to be anybody's easy layup.
Yeah, Liam Cohen told us yesterday it's the best 1 in 10 defense I've ever seen. The way that they're playing the sign, Simmons again has been at a Pro Bowl caliber. And can Liam Cohen's team, Arch, take care of business? Tennessee wins the toss. They defer on the back end of the Jacksonville defense. 3rd and 8 as the rookie scans the defense. Jacksonville's going to bring 5. Ward gets it out quickly, completes the Helm, but beautifully played by Antonio Johnson. Arch keeps it in front of him. Open field tackle as they pick up 5. And now decision time for Mike McCoy. Looks like he's going to go for the points. And this hometown crowd, I don't think approves.
Yeah, well, last week he was pretty aggressive on 4th down. He went for it 7 times.
Can't win.
And even talking to him, he said that's one of the major differences from his time when he was a head coach. And now it's almost as if you're compelled to go forward on 4th down. But this is a wise decision. Take the 3 points and a good start to the game.
Long snap from Morgan Cox. Johnny Hecker, the holder. And the kick from Joey Sly from 28. As Tennessee is going to salvage 3 points. Early lead for the Titans with 5 and change left to play in this opening quarter on CBS.
If it
We'll
wasn't
get more on that. We'll dig a little deeper with Arch.
If it wasn't for this bad back.
Here's the kick. Fielded out across the 30-yard line by LaQuint Allen.
I was impressed with the way he responded off of the negative plays. It did not take away any of his aggressiveness down the field.
ETN going to zigzag his way up the gut. You know, it was interesting. As Liam Cohen told us, they kind of went to tempo early in the second half of that game, and they felt like it opened up their offense a little bit, and everything just started to come together over the last 2 quarters.
It did. They did go to more of kind of a pass first on 1st down mentality and use that tempo, and things started out really well in that second half. Then they had that tip pass on the 5-yard line that led to the interception. It was like all of that momentum, and it went away with the interception, but definitely did feel like the offense was moving better when they went to that up-tempo and pass first.
Tennessee rushes 4. Lawrence puts the man under it as he takes his first shot down the field. Brenton Strange, a welcome re-emergence to the offense last week, coming back from the 5-game injury absence with that hip injury. Had 93 rec yards in that game.
Parker Washington, and he normally comes through with those big catches.
So fresh set of downs for Jacksonville. Play action from Lawrence. Over the middle, complete again. Myers has a convoy. Myers all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Out, and then Jacoby Myers, there is so much space. There's about 20 yards of space between the linebackers underneath and the safeties that are going deep. And there is just nobody there to tackle Jacoby Myers, who has been, I mean, I think revelation is a great word for him as he's been a part of this football team. What he has done to stabilize this passing game has been immeasurable.
See how much better they've been in the red zone over the last couple of weeks. Does that continue here? Tootin ducks his way inside the 5-yard line. And we mentioned last week, or think of last season, Jacksonville's offense, some of those home run plays down the field. Those have been few and far between with this year's team.
It's been one of the glaring weaknesses that they're trying to get. And look, Liam Cohen is calling it aggressive. So they are calling the shots. Sometimes they've been there, sometimes they haven't. But they do want to get that as a part of an element to the offense that would really start to open things up.
And with Myers now in the mix, obviously it's changed things, taking this offense to a different dimension. 2nd and goal. As we're now inside of 2 minutes left in the quarter. Handoff Tootin. Those big, powerful legs by the rookie runner, but a good push by the middle of that Tennessee front. Jeffrey Simmons among the tacklers. And it will be 3rd and goal. Big play call here from Liam Cohen.
Well, you know, if you're Tennessee right now and you want to try to stop this drive and enforce a field goal attempt, you've got to account for Trevor Lawrence's legs. Now, Jacksonville's success in the red zone when they score touchdowns is led by their run game. ETN, Tootin, and then, of course, Lawrence scrambling and using his legs.
So Denard Wilson, defensive coordinator. What does he dial up with this defense? 3rd and goal. Lawrence, end zone, caught. Myers for the Jacksonville touchdown. So Myers, the 50-yard catch and run, and the touchdown catch to give the Jaguars their first lead.
Well, good for the Jaguars.
Myers last week got his first touchdown catch of the season. He's got another one. Back injury, so Hamilton with a nice little assist. We'll see if that has to continue for them. We'll keep tabs on that as DK returns the kick across the 30. Football, did it come out? What's the call here? No signal yet from the officials. Brad Rogers talking about.
So BJ got his helmet on that football. So that's a double play. Getting it out and getting the fumble recovery.
Pitch play here. ETN bounces to the outside. Let's bring in Gene. Gene, did you concur with this reversal?
Yeah, Spiro, I think Arch made a great point before we went to break, too, about DK just being on top of other bodies. Doesn't
headset, but he saw enough through the challenge flag, and it works. As Lawrence throws across his body, and that is caught. What a catch. Tim Patrick working in front of that sideline, as that will take us to the end of the quarter. So Liam Cohen now in the season in terms of challenges, 3 of 4 successful as he gets his team. As we begin the 2nd quarter here in Nashville. Lawrence from the gun, protected, throws towards the end zone, wide open. Strange, touchdown. A quick strike from Jacksonville, 21 yards, and the Jags in command.
Lawrence puts it perfectly in the end zone.
I'm sorry, I had to take my headset off so I can chuckle. A baby kangaroo, not on my bingo card. Nice, really.
Number 49 of the defense. The ball will be spotted at the 2-yard line, marks half the distance, and Jacksonville will go for 2.
See what they've done in the season. Lone setback is LaQuint Allen. Lawrence, QB designed run. Lawrence is in. So Jacksonville gets its first 2-point try converted.
The play, personal foul, number 98 of the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
All right, so that is Jeffrey Simmons, obviously frustrated as Tennessee now has fallen into a double-digit hole. Back to Nashville in 30 seconds after this.
Having insurance.
Successful 2-point try to get us to 15. Off the leg of
Kickoff
Cam
out of
Little.
bounds, number 39 of the kicking team. By rule, the ball is placed at the 40-yard line. First down, Tennessee.
All right, Cam Little, who's been so good, that's the last thing Liam Cohen wanted.
Well,
as Tennessee's going to get it to 40. You can always count on Sundays right through the playoffs, the NFL on CBS, and streaming on Paramount Plus. So here's Cam Ward. Little sidearm delivery as he tries to jumpstart this offense. Iomanner makes his first catch. Aditi.
Spiro, after the Jaguars collapsed against Houston 3 weeks ago, defensive coordinator Anthony Campanelli took everything down to the studs. He simplified the defense, went back to...
Drew Wingard's analogies were pretty colorful. He said it was basically a high school level cover 3 that we were playing, but it's simplified. Guys were playing instinctual football, and boy, has it worked. Football is out! Boy, Tennessee looks like they may have recovered a tremendous strip on the play. Looked like it was Austin Johnson who jarred the football loose. But the Titans retained possession. But it is looking shaky.
And takes it away. But this is a drive now. You know, Tennessee started this game off with really a nice drive. Ended up with 3 points. But after the fumble on the kickoff and the touchdown, this is an important drive for Tennessee to try to get something going here and get back in this game.
It was Peter Skoronski who recovered for the Titans. 3rd and 5. The rookie steps up in the pocket. Everyone covered, trying to buy himself some time, and he's going down. Josh Hines-Allen, who has found the spark in his rush game.
Well, this is one where Cam Ward for a big sack, but he did have his outlet right over the football that would have picked up that first down.
Boy, Hines-Allen has been teeing off. Last week, 11 pressures in that win in Arizona. You see now the newly minted all-time sack leader for Jacksonville. Here's Parker Washington, electric in the return game, and we get a late flag. Was this a potentially high hit? We'll see the call here, 55-yard punt.
Block in the back. I think Ventrell Miller, the linebacker.
Again, our referee here is Brad Rogers, who already has been a busy man.
During the return, block in the back, number 51 to the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Hold on this game, 15-3 lead as we play early stages in the second quarter. They could conceivably end the day, Arch, in a tie with the Colts atop the AFC South.
3 games on the road, especially coming off an overtime game, and here against a division opponent.
Lawrence completes along the near side to Tootin. And remember, they still face Indianapolis twice, including next week in Jacksonville. And then once more, the second to last game.
To get off the field.
On 3rd and 5, Lawrence steps up, wobbly pass and incomplete. He had completed 6 straight before that miss. Washington and
any pressure whatsoever on Trevor Lawrence, but on 3rd down to get off the field, they get that pressure to force the punt.
Ball start, offense.
Tennessee down. As the Titans will begin from just inside their 30. The Titans offense last week that had their season high in points. Can they get this ground attack going as Pollard up the middle picks up 4, maybe 5.
So look, this is not an easy position to play, but certainly Cam Ward, you can see the talent and what you can get excited about with what he's been able to show in a really, really tough first season.
To make with the head coach, but
structure around him, and that's what Tennessee has to figure out.
On 3rd and 3, Ward looking at the defense. DK in motion. Jags bring 4, then a 5th. Ward's pass looked like it may have been deflected at the line of scrimmage. Josh Hines-Allen was applying the pressure for the Jags. And a 3-and-out forced by Jacksonville's defense.
Well, here he is on the left side. You saw a little bit more of this. That was the #1 thing that stood out last week, is how quickly he made his decisions. But right now, Jacksonville making him hold the ball on 3rd down.
Fair catch signaled here. Again, Hines-Allen last week in Arizona had 11 pressures. Top 3 in the league. Great to have you with us post-Thanksgiving. On a beautiful 40-degree day here in Nashville. Trevor Lawrence and company begin at the 20. Play action from Lawrence. Going to go to his check. This is Patrick. Slips the initial tackle. There is a penalty flag thrown as Patrick is brought down shy of the 30. Jihad Ward, the tackler. It's a pickup of 7. Actually, the missed tackle by Jihad Ward. Did you get your Christmas shopping done?
No, my wife Christmas.
It'll go use some hands to the face. Defense number 53. 5-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Let's get an NFL Today update. Those kickers.
Kickers, man.
Sauce Gardner, by the way, has been ruled out of that game. He's in a walking boot on the sideline, so more potentially big injury news. Let's check in with the Didi.
Sure, let's turn to a defensive star in this game, Jeffrey Simmons. At the trade deadline, near about all 31 teams called looking to see if they could get their hands on him. But the brain trust here sat down with Simmons and he said, I don't want to go anywhere. When I asked Simmons about that, he said, I'm not someone who runs from adversity. He says he believes in the vision here and he wants to be a part of the turnaround.
Yeah, the brain trust here, the owner, Amy Adams Strunk, Mike Borgonzi, first year as the general manager. Big decisions that they've already made and certainly will have to make in the coming months as ETN picks up 3, maybe 4. You consider from Jeffrey Simmons, their first 3-4 years, Arch, they were contending teams.
Unmatched in the National Football League.
He has started 91 of 93 career games. The 2 games that he missed earlier this season. Lawrence's pass deflected. Boy, Washington nearly caught it off of his own fingertips. The initial deflection, Darrell Baker was with him step for step.
Well, that's what you need, just stepping up and making a play. And Darrell Baker really had a pretty good game last week on a crossing route. Ball just a little bit inside of Parker Washington, but that's a tough play to make when you're playing outside leverage and a receiver runs across the field. But that's that type of play that you need to make on this defense, again, to help your team get back in this football game.
So Hamilton again, the long snapper for the moment, with Matisic unavailable for Jacksonville. And this is going to be played, boy, dangerous, as DK plays it off a couple of hops. He's already fumbled a kick in this game. 3 on the return and only 33 on the punt from Logan Cook. Back in 30 seconds. Punt by Logan Cook. Cam Ward, if you just hopped on with a 6 of 8, 40 yards. Pollard, Arch, they started really well with the run game that first drive that eventually got them into field goal range, but hasn't been much to write home about since.
Yeah, and look, they're last in the National Football League, averaging 77 rushing yards per game. Again, last week, only 64 yards. Cam Ward has been the leading rusher for the Tennessee Titans in their last 2 games. And so you know that you cannot be one-dimensional against any team in the National Football League, but they have to find a way to chip away and at least get ahead of the change and stay on schedule so they have better third downs.
Ward a little bit sidearm on that delivery as he completes to Gunnar Helm. Greg Newsome on the tackle. They pick up 6. And that'll get them in a palatable third down in distance here, 3rd and 3.
You have to be aware of Ward scrambling, but also if you're Anthony Cam going, Cam Ward's trying to direct traffic and he doesn't expect that football. And what started out as a really good third down opportunity at 3rd and 3, now careless mistake and it's 3rd and 8. Now Jacksonville, everybody at the line of scrimmage. Are they going to come or are they going to drop away and play zone?
A little bit of a low snap here. Ward's pass way too low and incomplete. Iomanner and DK both in the vicinity. And so the offense given excellent starting field position at the 41. The penalty sets him back, Arch, and they're going to have to punt.
Yeah, and this is there's just a lack of it. Watch both of these receivers. They basically run into each other, and they're in the same spot. And so Cam Ward certainly saw something, and his receivers saw and felt something else. That was an all-out pressure. Ward tries to get the ball out, but his receivers not ready.
3rd consecutive 3-and-out forced by Jacksonville's defense. Johnny Hecker, the 4-time Pro Bowler. This one takes a bounce into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback for Jackson. Get one from the Jags. So ETN, the runner here. So they've missed their long snapper, Matisic, and now Washington potentially hurting. As we'll check the penalty here.
Holding. Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
That's Anton Harrison back, missing the last 2 weeks with that knee and ankle injury. NFL Today update. Back to New York and Adam Schein.
Spiro, Arch, the Texans.
I think Houston's playing. They're starting to really play some good ball. And the fact that they won 3 games with Davis Mills as a backup really tells you something about their football team.
And C.J. Stroud back. It is going to get real interesting down the stretch. Lawrence sacked. Jihad Ward. Lawrence, quick delivery here to Myers, who had the touchdown catch and a 50-yard grab earlier. That'll get him out to the 10. But Denard Wilson's defense going to force a 3-and-out. Looks like it's Jeffrey Simmons late to get to his feet. Boy, that's the last guy that they can afford to miss.
I think
he will gingerly make his way to the sideline.
I think he's going to be okay.
And my goodness.
Did Brown run into him?
No flags in the vicinity, but it is a short kick fielded by DK as he's going to
has to be precise, and just that little jump gave Tennessee a little bit of extra time to almost get that block.
Here's Pollard will duck his way inside the Jacksonville 20. It was Mike Brown potentially who had that block for Tennessee.
This is the 2-minute warning.
So that gets us to the 2-minute warning. You saw Cook still red hot down on that Jag sideline. But Tennessee just absolutely needs points right here. By far the best chance that they've had right here from the Jacksonville 39. Ward goes to the check here, gets it to Spears, who's upended. Just a sensational open field.
Get him on the ground.
Jacksonville brings 4. Ward gets it out. Little shovel pass ahead. Spears. Monster first down for the Titans.
Well, yeah, that was a huge play. And be alert here. There's a great opportunity now, if they like the look, that they might try to take a shot on this secondary.
Remember, Tennessee gets it to begin the second half. Ward slings one towards the end zone, and it's incomplete. Looking for Ward over the middle, and that's incomplete. Looking for DK. And Arch's passing game just has been off right from the start.
No, it's not around the line of scrimmage. And you see that play clock, and that's just Ward trying to figure out what's going on, try to get the protection set, but just loses sight of the play clock, and now it's 3rd and 15.
Almost 10 years since Mike McCoy was last the head coach. Remember, left the Chargers in 2016. Looking for a spark here at the end of the first half, down to 34 seconds. Ward delivers. It is going to be caught there.
You can get it off to get across that 50-yard line.
Remember Cam Little, week 9 in Vegas, hit the NFL record 68-yard field goal. Lawrence wide open is Strange. Strange trying to get out of bounds. And the officials will mark him now with the first down. They pick up 11. Clock now down to 7.
With 1 second left on the clock.
Remember, that target line is subjective, probably even further back when you consider the 68-yarder that he hit. And so everything that Liam Cohen is thinking about here. But what a year it's been for Cam Little. Remember, he hit a 70-yarder in the preseason, so this guy can kick it. This was week 9 in Vegas, obviously Dome Stadium, different conditions. But that K-ball, that kicker ball that the league...
They call a timeout with 1 second left.
They got that timeout, so everywhere on the field is in play here for Lawrence. Lawrence over the middle, gets it to Strange. And that is going to make for a much easier kick, easier in quotation marks. So that's going to get him right on the outskirts of his more pedestrian field goal range. But played brilliantly by Lawrence, as they're going to set up for what is going to be a 61-yard attempt.
Yeah, Tennessee really played pretty far back in that situation, and there was a lot of on this drive.
Fielded by DK, going to get close to the 30. Couple of seconds ago, Aditi. Urgency level in Liam's voice. Everything at stake for them, everything that they've got in front of them. Indianapolis in that tight game today with Houston, as the Jags could potentially end the day tied for first place in the AFC South. Ward's pass intended for Van Jefferson, and winger Trayvon Walker, second straight week. No Eric Armstead with that hand injury. No problem, as Tajay Spears is blown up.
The entire defense play at their best over the course of their last 3 games. They're showing an all-out blitz, but they drop out.
Ward's pass is complete. Gets it to Jefferson. They are short, about a yard short of the line to gain.
Right now, you're going to start to see Anthony Campanelli dial up the pressure, give him a lot of looks, and make him process fast to be successful.
They begin here at their 29. Play action from Lawrence. He just throws it into the turf. Aditi, some moving parts here on the offensive line for Liam Cohen.
Spiro, that's right. You're seeing it.
Is now at left tackle for Walker Little, and Wyatt Milam, their rookie 3rd-round pick out of West Virginia, is now into the game at right guard. Lawrence steps up for the throw, looking for Myers.
They don't allow Tennessee's defense to capitalize on all those changes up front.
Tennessee bringing 4. Lawrence pulls it back, and Lawrence sacked. Jeffrey Simmons. For Denard Wilson's defense is battling 4th 3-and-out that they have forced. There is a penalty flag thrown here right in the vicinity of the Logan Cook punt. It's going to take a Jags bounce all the way down to the 26 of Tennessee. Jags the football back at their own 34-yard line, and the boos raining down here in Nashville. ETN. Just think of what this fan base is.
That's the big play element that this offense has been looking for.
Lawrence going to take his shot again, looking for Thomas down the sideline, but well covered by Darrell Baker. And one thing that Trevor told us,
he or his play caller, Liam Cohen, started to get nervous and dial back and get more conservative. They were aggressive, and it paid off.
The trust between them continues to build as we get penalty flags whistling this play dead. Flag thrown right in front of Jacksonville's sideline. Looks like this one potentially could be against Tennessee. There's also a flag on the near side. So what's the call here on a 3rd and 5?
False start. Offense. Number 70. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
All right, that's Colvan.
And protect.
3rd and 10 after the penalty. Lawrence steps up. Lawrence completes. Thomas. 1st down connection. Run out of bounds as he gets inside Titans territory. They pick up 17. And a Jacksonville.
In the field, that's a huge play for Jacksonville to keep this drive going.
This is Bashal Tootin slipping that initial tackle as we go downstairs to Aditi.
Spiro, just a few plays ago, you were talking about the trust between Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen, and getting to watch them week 3, all more confidence in him.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear as we get a couple of flags here. And look, there's been some tension, some moments on the field, some of the reactions post-play early part of the season with some frustration from Cohen.
He's coaching him hard. And that's what any player wants, to be coached hard and coached well.
Got a jet sweep called by Cohen here. Myers trying to find the edge. Well, there's no doubt this offense is starting.
Are running the football and not putting it all on their quarterback to go out there and make every play.
Lawrence goes across his body off play action. Well, he's been good. Myers starting to put his imprint on this game.
Let's get back to doing what you do well, and hopefully they start to stretch the field.
Another fake handoff from Lawrence, and they're humming at this point, trying to take advantage of the Tennessee penalties. Quentin Morris was thrust into a bigger role. Began the year as a practice.
Lawrence outside the pocket here in this second half that's working and having an effect.
Play action again. Lawrence protected, back in the end zone, looking for Trammell, and it's incomplete. 4th and goal, Jacksonville. 4th and short, lunging for it. So Lawrence lunges. 15th play of the drive for Jacksonville, beg your pardon. Ground game, Tootin. No signal. Now they say touchdown. Bashal Tootin punches it in, and the Jags build on their lead.
In firm control of this one.
Bashal Tootin, the rookie 4th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. How impressive has he looked? Gets his 4th rushing touchdown of the season. And Cam Little, remember they got 70 of those yards on their first drive. Ward's pass, incomplete, and there's the flag. It was deep.
Moving outside in this game in their sub packages.
It's DK in motion. They'll go to the ground game here with Pollard. Or just times where it's so hard to evaluate Cam Ward, who, #1 overall pick. You've got so much.
Really, for the 5th or 6th straight season, they've been in the bottom as far as giving up pressure rate. It all starts there, but they haven't had a consistent run game or protection all season long.
This is Spears going to get him a 1st down. There's another flag in the completion after Spears got 7.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Yeah, that's so
Much more consistent offense, but they just haven't been able to stay on schedule.
Ward Boy somehow steps up. They evade the sack, completes underneath to Helm. And boy, they were close to giving up another sack. No.
And so what are your chances, really? What are your realistic chances of thinking you're going to convert on 4th and 7, especially with the way your passing game has been today?
Was that rhetorical? Do you want me to respond?
I'd like you to respond.
5-3. Jacksonville scoring 25 unanswered points as we play late stages third quarter. Trevor Lawrence faking the handoff to Etienne and throws a dart. Myers, who's had a big day for the Jags, he picks up 9, pulls to another first down. Boy, it is going to be a fun final 5-6 weeks of the regular season in the AFC South.
Yeah, and that defense is nasty. It's legit.
Etienne trying to grind that yard for the first down, waiting for the signal, appears to have it, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 Jacksonville. Boy, you're right. You got a defense
good against the run. You know, Jacksonville's run game, they've been running the ball as good as any team in the league over the course of the last 4 or 5 games, but
they wiggle free here with Etienne. How slippery.
Poorly timed penalties, and Jacksonville has been able to, for the most part, overcome theirs.
Carry here from Tootin. You know, one other thing about Denard Wilson, who's got his little extra pushing and shoving there after that play, as that should take us to the end of the quarter. You know, we asked Wilson, how do you handle it? You want to be exotic. You want to call your defenses. He said it's a fine line between simplifying and staying aggressive. But, you know, I can't be vanilla with my defenses. And that's fair to a guy like Jeffrey Simmons.
Speed, but he feels like he can't protect everybody. He just has to call it. And it's up to these guys to know what they're doing and go out in the field and make those teams. I wouldn't be surprised to see much more pressure and trying to get Lawrence to make a mistake.
Facial McCary. So certainly one area of concern for this Jacksonville offensive line. Boy, we've already, and there's another one.
Again.
A late flag. Cook got hit earlier in the game. This is DK meantime. DK sprung free, but boy, this one is going to be negated. To put that on my list.
Does that offend you? That there's a
not at all. Here? Take it as a compliment. Well, you're half Greek. You should be complimented by that as well. Tony
qualifies is don't try to smash a special teams defensive player. That's not a wise decision.
Logan Cook willing to mix it up. Here's Cam Ward. Can they take advantage of this short field now after the 48-yard punt return by DK? Hamilton giving chase. A little bit of contact at the end of the play just as Ward came.
Fields off of those scrambles. It's been non-existent today.
On 3rd and 6, and he misses. Boy, Eilmanor had some daylight on the sideline. And on 4th and 6, you have to think McCoy's going to go for it here. So Tennessee had 3 first downs on their opening drive. They've had 3 since on their last 6 possessions, 4th and 6.
And that one right there, I mean, that's just a play that you've got to be able to make. Eilmanor was in wide open. You had a bust in coverage, and the ball wasn't even close to his receiver. You've got to be able to connect on those plays.
Here's Ward, quick delivery, a drop. Eilmanor, certainly a catchable ball.
As they move forward.
Yeah, Didi, just something that they can hang their hat on with this rookie class, the first draft class of Mike Borgonzi, their first year general manager that Amy Adams Strunk, the owner here, hired.
They are getting a chance to play a lot here late, but they are showing that they are a piece of this future.
And Arch, that's a really big part of it.
It hasn't translated into wins as they come with the blitz here, but hoping to finish the season strong. Lawrence again feeling the pressure. Jeffrey Simmons, speaking of the devil, was coming right up the middle. And on 4th down, Jacksonville is going to punt through the field. There is a marker thrown right around the line of scrimmage. And DK is brought down quickly. Ryan Lake, that last hit that he took, cleared quickly. And so he is back onto the field for Jacksonville. DK is going to play it. A couple of punt return touchdowns this season as he is out to the 35, 13 yards on the return.
Oh, no.
We got multiple flags. Matisic throwing a guy down, another flag, and this thing getting out of hand. Brad Rogers and his officiating team.
I think initially it was Chestnut and Andrew Wingard who got tangled up, and then Cook didn't appreciate what was happening.
I don't think there's a feistier punter in the NFL than Logan Cook. Logan Cook just trying to catch his breath. He's already been checked for a concussion. And now a long conversation continuing here.
Number 44.
Tennessee 35.
Tennessee number 35.
Jacksonville.
Then Jacksonville number 9
and 46.
and 46. Those penalties will offset. Tennessee's number 44 has been disqualified from the game.
Yeah, so that's Mike Brown, who has indeed been in that Jacksonville locker room. So here's Cam Ward. Can he finish strongly here for an offense, Arch, that has just been non-existent till this point? Last week, remember, they had a season.
As you know, they had 296 yards last week, and a lot of that, they were coming from behind. But I just thought that you really felt like they were going to build off of that game.
And this defense keeps on coming.
Just had a tremendous play at the end of the game to help seal that game last week in overtime against the Cardinals.
Ward's pass is completed to Tajay Spears. Foye Oluwakin, the tackling machine.
That play, because there had been a few plays earlier in the season where they kind of hit the defense in a similar way, and he just had that play over and over in his mind, and when it finally presented itself, made that play at the key time.
So 3rd and 9 as Tennessee operates from their 45-yard line. Looks like Wingard is coming on the blitz.
Oh boy.
And that pass is caught. They're going to be well short of the first down. Okonkwo.
Previous block, that was a sack, but that time payback.
So 4th down. McCoy is going to go for it here. Spears is going to have it. As that'll get him inside Jacksonville territory. Boy, just think of how dynamic Spears was, Arch, in his first couple of years. Just hasn't quite had this. Missed the first 4 weeks of the season. And it has been an uphill climb this season for Spears. Cam Ward again, they give chase. Josh Hines-Allen among the defenders applying the pressure. 2nd and 10.
Armstead has really been making a presence as one of the better pass rushing D linemen in the league over the course of the last 4 games.
This is Xavier Restrepo, elevated from the practice squad for a 2nd straight week. A guy who played that year collegiately with Cam Ward. And it has been ugly from that standpoint for both teams. 2nd and 10. Jacksonville bringing 4. Here he comes again. Hines-Allen. He has been
the pocket. Hines-Allen starting to come to life here at the end of the season.
Again, it's been one of the Achilles heels. No team has given up more sacks than Tennessee. Okonkwo trying to do his dance. Unable to shake Jarian Jones. Well played in the. Hines-Allen, by the way, 5.5 sacks over their last 4+ games. And we still have 7 minutes left. Cam Ward rolling out. Not going to give Spears much of a chance. Boy, he's lit up. Boy, you'd like to see Ward just give a guy a chance down the field. There was nothing Spears could do. And to make it worse, he takes a hard hit.